So welcome to the Business Babble. So today we have Kenny from Andy's Man Club. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much for having me along. It's a pleasure to be here.
I heard you've done the loop of 5 today.
Yeah, try to find the studios here, there and everywhere.
It's what we call a hidden gem.
Yeah, found it eventually.
Oh, very good, very good. So Andy's Man Club has been well known around the UK. And for what we've known about Andy's Man Club, that started away back in 2016.
Yeah, so we're just coming up to the anniversary. So 4th of July 2016 was the first ever club in Halifax. And yeah, it's coming up 9 years now. Taking over the UK, but it's still a long way to go as well.
That's great. Are you doing anything for it?
To be honest, every day is just a big celebration for us. We're just trying to raise as much awareness as we can. So I think the big one will be next year when we hit the 10 years mark. But yeah, just try to raise as much awareness as we can every day of the week, never mind any special anniversaries.
Very good. So how did this, I mean, we've looked into it, but just for our viewers, our listeners, how did Andy's Man Club all start?
Sadly, it was on the back of a suicide. So Andy Roberts was 23-year-old and sadly took his own life. And his brother-in-law, who had to pick up the pieces, it was his idea to come up with a talking group just to prevent other men going through what Andy went through. And yeah, started as a coffee club back in 2016 and is now, as we say, we've got over 300 clubs now, helping nearly 6,000 men every week, which is incredible. But there's still a long way to go to bring that stigma down and the suicide rates down.
Mm-hmm. I think there's always that. I've learned this from over a period of time. You know, that whole thing about a problem shared is a problem halved, and when you see Andy's Man Club and you see that symbol, it's okay to talk. I think I've seen over the amount of years, you kind of question, like, I wonder what that's all about. I wonder what it's about. But you do. A lot of men do suffer in silence. We have on the podcast, we've had chats with women about the menopause, premenopause, the state of being, where they're at, the tools that they can use to help themselves. Where men are kind of, it's a bit archaic. We've been told just to get on with it, it'll be fine. Just muscle through. But I mean, it's a fantastic charity where you've been and where you're going. I think there was one point where they thought they'd be lucky after 5 years if they had 30 clubs. It was more than 50, and you're like, wow. Yeah,
it's incredible, and it's such a simple method as well. Just getting boys in a group talking, a tea and a coffee, a biscuits put on free of charge. But yeah, as you say, we've kind of grown up. Don't talk about your feelings, just get on with it. You're meant to be the man of the house type thing, and it's back in that day. So we're slowly getting away from that. There's still a lot of stigma out there. There's especially you see it around the trade side of things as well, and on building sites and stuff like that. There's still that stigma there, but yeah, try to break that down just by having conversations like this, raising that awareness, and hopefully it's getting there slowly. And you notice a big difference in the younger generation now as well. Obviously, we're of an older generation sitting around here just now, but the younger generation and kids in schools, you're starting to notice them talking about their feelings, which for me, even 10 years ago, you would never talk about. So it's good to see that side of things as well.
Yeah. 100%.
How much do you think social media is having for the young ones? Because I always feel it's quite hard for them now.
Yeah, it's a horrible side of things. And even as a business and different things, social media can be absolutely amazing. But at the same time, it can be absolutely horrible as well. And we see both sides of it, because a lot of our awareness and a lot of our people who, even just the last week, I'd done a wee survey around Fife to see where they had heard of Andy's Man Club, and 90% were social media. But as you say, there's still a lot of negatives, especially the younger generation. I've got a 10-year-old daughter, and seeing the pressures on her and even some of the bullying that goes on in their group chats, it's horrible to see at that age, never mind older people as well. So yeah, it's a good thing, but it can be a negative as well.
Yeah. It's when you see, it's again, as you're saying, the pros and cons for the digital world. I mean, Vickers, you're obviously older than me, but by a couple of months.
That's been polite.
Well, he's really buttering me up here.
Well, Vickers' background, he deals with a lot of business mentoring. Knowing your numbers is so important. We can go into that as well with the charity side of things. But for your perspective, Vickers, you're meeting CEOs, CFOs, directors of big organisations, smaller organisations, micro businesses. What do you see in the shift with people's mentality and their well-being?
I think Kenny has said it. I think there's still a stigma attached to men coming together and talking, and and it's a sign of weakness. We perceive it to sit in front of a table and share our feelings as a sign of weakness, or coming to somebody and admitting that you need help. I think it's more of a generational thing. I think younger people coming through don't have those same stigmas attached to them. So where do you go to? Because I think everybody lives behind a mask. If you tell me you don't, you're lying, because everybody puts on a front. And I think the big fear of coming to an organization like Andy's Man Club, I think when you walk through those doors, probably one of their first fears is, am I being judged? Or are people going to judge me for whatever I'm going through? And it's about creating that environment. I think there is a bigger shift into people looking, how do they, peer-to-peer learning, peer-to-peer groups, where they can feel validated. Because, I mean, men think vastly different to women. So, you know, and therapy is expensive. So it's a different shift that's coming. But you're right, it's coming very, very slowly. Because I think you've just said 6,000 men. And if you think about, there's 67 million people living in the UK. So let's just say 40% of them are men. You haven't even scratched the surface with that. And do you think, Kenny, so just what are the main reasons guys come to Kenny's Man Club?
The main reason, to be honest, there's all reasons. And a lot of people say and laugh and joke about, oh, is it women? But no, you get all reasons for coming. For me, I was self-employed. So I was a landscape gardener and self-employed, and I'd struggled before with my mental health, but the self-employment and COVID hit us and I went downhill. A lot of businesses went up the way on the back of COVID, but mine was the opposite, and I was too busy and overload. But you get people from financial struggles, childhood abuse, all these different things. Relationship is a big one. You talk about the menopause and stuff. Something we've learned as facilitators, and we've done a couple of courses on that, because a lot of relationship breakdowns and men's problems and household problems with their wives, a lot of that's down to the menopause. So again, the more the men can learn about that, the better relationships are. But yeah, you get a wide range of absolutely everything. You get people coming in through the carers, they're maybe caring for their family members, and this is a release on a Monday night. You get some boys just coming along for the social side as well. So I know in Dunfermline just now, we've got a boy that's in his 80s who comes along, he's just there for the social side, just to get out of the house and have a chat with his mates, which I think is phenomenal, because Andy's Man Club was set up for mental health and suicide, but we're 9 years down the line, and it's more a social club as well. It's not just for the mental health. It's there for any man, as it says. It's just getting people out of the house talking.
It's also just looking at that. It's also a preventative.
Yeah,
because you think about, everybody thinks about themselves in their own shoes. You take somebody 80-year-old, maybe lost their wife, lost their partner. The social clubs are maybe not as active at the bowls or the golf, that sort of thing. But if they can have somewhere just to go and have a chin wag, it's like I always say to people, like the youngsters when we're going through school, if you want to have a reflection on life, go into a care home. These people are desperate to tell you their stories. They're wise. They've been there, they've done it, and you could leave with a tear in your eye, just how passionate and just how lucky. It's a perspective as well sometimes, somebody at the end of their life, somebody at the start of their life. It was actually interesting, kind of going off on a tangent a little bit. So this last week, unfortunately, I've had to meet one of my good friends. His dad is dying of cancer, and you go in the first time, skin and bones, it's horrible. But the ironic thing is, when I was leaving there, holding back my tears before I got to the car, I don't know if what it was, but there was a young child in a buggy. It was blocking my car, and I had to help the wife or the person with the baby, and I'm lifting up, and I'm saying to myself, I'm leaving death there to new life. I'm like, well, this is just a circle of life, and it's just how you go. But it's how your mindset is and how you see things, how you perceive things. I mean, where are you in your journey now then, Kenny, if I be so blunt, from where you were?
My journey, to be honest, I'm up at the top of the scale just now. I'm loving life and everything's going well. And it's taken a lot of work, and it's taken a lot of hard work, and it continues to take hard work, but I am in a very good place and in a position I'm open to talking about it. Alcohol was a big crippling point of mine. You know what it's like, a hard day at work, a typical male, you go home and have a few bottles of beer. That took over my life, and I needed that. I no longer drink, so nearly coming up 4 years of being sober and all these different things. And just by doing that, and again, I still need a club on a Monday night as well. We talk about prevention. I'm in a very good place just now, but on a Monday night I still like that reset, going out and getting maybe just one thing off your chest, or just having that reset every week, and seeing other people as well, because by me sharing my good week, other people who are struggling might want to have that. And I know that early days of when I went into Andy's Man Club, there was a boy, he come along to support his brother-in-law, I think it was, and he still attends as well, but he come along and he was having a good week every week. And I always says, when I was in that bad place, I want that good week, and just by doing that and changing your mindset slightly helped me massively. So in a very good place, which is good. And
Brilliant.
The impact that's got on my wife and my kids is even bigger as well. It's not just me being in a good place, they're obviously benefiting from it as well, which is a powerful bit.
And see somebody that's having suicidal thoughts, what is the process there that can help them get through that? Because
sometimes just having a little bit of hope, just that one little bit of hope, that's all it needs. I know you go into a dark place and you just go into a spiral downwards, but just having that little bit of hope, and that's what we try and give boys, that one bit of hope. If it's just the fact that they're there that night and everyone's clapping them for being there that night type thing, it's just giving them that little bit of hope. Sometimes it's the silliest of things in your day-to-day life, and that's why we always say, if you could hold the door open for somebody, or have a nice day, say to somebody, have a nice day, it could just change their mindset. And you never know what somebody's going through.
Exactly.
I'm running about headless chicken this morning trying to find somewhere, but you could a nice wee comment from somebody, or you're asking for somebody for directions and being polite to them or being horrible to them, it could just change that boy's day. So just giving them that little bit of hope's the main thing that we look for.
I think we talk about you're the average of the 6 people you hang about with, and that's a business methodology. Is that you call it? Methodology. Always get that tongue tied. And it might be the same as well for Andy's Man Club. You think people are going there because they're sad or they're lonely or upset, but they could also be just given their gift because they're maybe happy-go-lucky, motivational. And when you surround yourself with just 1 or 2 people that are a wee bit higher up in the scale there, it lifts you, it brings you up. And I think that's so important. Whatever you're going through in life, just try and find that beacon of hope, that light, that shine, and that really helps. I mean, that's why I hang about with these 2 guys.
100%. No, it is. It's and you get friendships from that as well. And the people, as you say, the people you surround yourself with. I've got very close friends now through Andy's Man Club that. Even my daughters, I've got friends out of it, because like I go to the football on a Saturday with one of the boys, and his daughter comes along, so there's always the 4 of us in the car, us 2 and our 2 daughters. So it's the people you surround yourself with, it helps you massively. And I know like I could phone them any time of the day and they'd be there to support you as well, which is an incredible bit. And that's not just through your mental health side of things, it's also through your journey of life, that you never know what people can help you in certain ways as well. It's an incredible tool to have, and it's just by reaching out and speaking to people. Likewise in business though, isn't it? If you're struggling in business, normally you just duck your head in it, but when you actually speak to other businessmen, the amount of people are out there to help you, it is incredible. It's just asking for that help first and foremost is the hardest bit. We
spoke about that a lot. And so, see, in business then, I mean, I don't know whether there's an easy answer for this, but is there signs, as a business owner or colleagues, is there things there that you can be looking out for when you're in your day-to-day business running, of seeing someone that's maybe struggling, but are they really good at hiding it?
There's a bit of both. There's a lot of signs, and if you're spending time day to day with somebody and maybe their appearance is changing or their attitude's changing, or somebody that's never missed a day's work for the last year, but for whatever reason he starts having a Monday off and a Friday off, and there's bits like that. As I say, appearance, I always say it when I can't be bothered, my hair grows longer and my beard starts getting scruffy. There's simple things to look at. But there's a lot of times that people just, they'll not open up, and it's normally the ones you're actually more surprised at, or the happy ones, or the loud joking ones in the group and stuff like that are quite often the ones as well. But I think just always ask your staff members, and Andy's Man Club's an easiest method. We've got 3 questions or 5 questions we ask, but the first 3 always stay the same. How's your week been? It's just a general question, or how's your week been? Question 2 is a positive from your week, and question 3 is anything get off your chest. So I always say this to businesses and managers as well. If you've got a squad of people, ask your mates or ask your colleagues, how's your day going? I always ask my daughters, how's your day been? instead of being what's the positive from your day, I always ask, just give me a highlight, so it's just slightly changing the wording for the kids as well, and then anything get off your chest. I always ask my kids as well, and this is something I do day to day, is what's been the hardest or what's been your struggle today. So it's maybe not something to get off your chest, because it's again changing that mindset on a simple question is, if you've got a joiner, what are you struggling with at work just now? Could be a young joiner, even an apprenticeship. Apprentice, if they're struggling with a certain job, then anxiety comes on the back of that. If you can support them in any way you can, if you know you can't hang doors, or you know you can't do a painting job, and give them a bit more help with things like that, rather than them struggling themselves. So sometimes it's just asking the questions and being open. As I say, sometimes you don't see any signs, but other times it's quite noticeable.
There's something I learned years ago, and it's a wee gimmick, and it's about asking questions. It's called the 1 to 20 game, and I love the game. You can use it for a whole plethora of things to calm your anxieties down. You can use it to stay in control if you feel that you waffle too much. And it's simply asking questions. Asking questions, because what's powerful about asking questions, it makes you more interesting as well, because you're interested in the person. So for anybody listening to that might be a good thing as a business owner or a manager, asking questions from your team. Or ask questions to your team. It really does help. And one thing I got taught again when I was younger, that some people may already know, I got drawn a diagram, and it was just a flat line. And they said your life goes up and down that all the time. And what happens is you might think things come in threes, and then when you're coming back up again, your life doesn't go above the line as high and it's just long, and then what happens is you feel that horrible feeling again, or that low feeling, and it comes down. Before you know it, you're below that line, and that's when that deep rest comes into play. And it's all about taking moments in your life and acknowledging where you're thinking, because I think from my point of view, for when I had depression at a younger age, I used to analyse everything on my day. Even, as weird as it sounds, pulling back the duvet, then I'll need to put my socks on, then I'll have to walk to the bathroom, then I'll have to do a pee, then I'll have to brush it, I'll have to do this, I'll have to do this. And words are so important and so powerful. When you change some words like, I get to walk to the bathroom, I get to brush my teeth, I get to get out of bed. Small words, but they make so much of a difference. But it's just, it's capturing somebody, or somebody capturing you at that time and lifting you up and having that knowledge and that experience, but also being able to use these ears and just listen. It's so important, man.
I'm going to just circle back, Kenny. I think the depression is one of those ones it's difficult to diagnose, because men have been taught to just get on with it, and they all of a sudden they fall into that trap, and it's just going back to what Johnny says, it's the little questions you ask. How many times do you see guys with sort of symptoms of depressions coming to Andy's Man Club?
I think everybody's got, even if you could say you're the happiest person, everyone's got a depression. Absolutely everybody. And we talk about you're talking about the line there, the spectrum. Everyone's on the spectrum at some point in their life, and it's always the same. It's the same with dyslexia and reading. Everyone can read. It's just how, if you're better or good. Everyone's dyslexic. When you look at it that way, you're always on the spectrum. So yeah, everyone lives with depression, and it could just be one thing happen in their life. It could be a death that just triggers it.
Into that downward spiral.
Yeah, downward spiral. And again, it's just trying to keep people above that line and keep people talking. And anything in life, it's just talking about it makes a big difference. And you're talking about just the question yourself during the day is, if you're in a negative mind frame, anything that happens to you that day, you're constantly in your head, you're thinking the negatives. But when you just change that around and look at the positive side of things, and getting out of your bed, I always say this, it could just be a simple positive that you made it outside your bed that morning. That's a huge positive for a lot of people, because a lot of people sit in their beds for months, just can't get out of it. So getting out of your bed in the morning is a huge positive. Even if it's just going downstairs and sitting at your back door, getting that fresh air, it's a massive positive. And it's just about changing your mind frame and mindset around to look at the positives rather than the negatives.
And that is a hard thing, because mindset is a very, very difficult thing to change, because you either believe you can or you believe you can't. Yeah. And that becomes your reality. And to change that mindset it's hard. we've got a lot to be thankful for, yet we're thankful for so little, because when it goes wrong, it looks like the world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
But if you can find one thing a day to be grateful for, you're already great. I mean, I think what most people don't realize is that here in the UK, if you take it on a global perspective, we're some of the most fortunate people we have. We have access to running water. We have access to ablutions. We have access to so many things. And you miss that in the greater scheme of things. You really do miss it.
Yeah.
And you think my life is about to, you do. It's not, but it's how you look at it. And it could be dark. And where do you go to for hope? And that's an important thing, is where do you go to for hope?
Yeah, and everyone's a different walk of life. And we always look at you looking at negatives. You could have a big billboard, for example. And I think this is always a powerful one. You could have a billboard that millions of people are seeing. There could be one spelling mistake on that billboard. And pretty much that's all you look at. You're looking at a negative of a spelling mistake. Whereas, what about the positive side of things?
All the other words are spelled correctly.
What about everything else? There's 99% of that is absolutely spot on, and there's millions of people seeing that, and it's making a difference. But you're always looking at one negative thing because there's a spelling mistake, and sometimes it's a good thing because you're always wanting to better yourself, and especially in business as well. Business, you always want to do one better, but you just need to look at the small positives rather than looking at the negatives. And
I think it's a process you go through, isn't it? I mean, how do you eat an elephant? It's like one bite at a time.
Yeah.
And I think it's one step at a time. But the first step is probably acknowledging there's a problem. Step number 1, I am not feeling great today. But step number 2 is, where do I go into a safe environment to just chat to people? And sometimes you might just go to listen.
Yeah.
And then and that's maybe enough for some people.
100%. And I think there's a great picture online, and it's the picture of the ladders. And it's the first steps, like say it's 3 or 4 runs high, the first step, but then the other ones are smaller, and that first step's always the hardest one. But then after it, and it's just one step at a time. It could just be, as you say, stepping out your door, getting up in the morning. Maybe for people it's maybe in their beds just now, struggling to get out. Getting up out of your bed for a week in the morning, just getting out of your bed, that's a massive positive. But as it's step by step, first and foremost, I always say, reach out to your doctors is the biggest bit. Speak to the professionals first and foremost. But there's so many different groups out there, so many different things. We're next door to Trench Boxing just now, and Trench Boxing's a massive one as well. They do mental health classes completely free of charge. Which I think is phenomenal, because some people, that's the only bit they're doing is every week is in bits like that. So yeah, there is so many different things out there. It's just finding what works for you as well. Not being scared to go along to a club. Well, maybe that's not happened for me. Trying out something else. I'll be honest, I tried Andy's Man Club thinking, what a load of rubbish. It's not going to work for me, but at the same time I had to try something. And luckily enough it did work for me. It took 3 or 4 weeks to keep going back to realise that, but that might not have worked for me. So it's what you try next after that. And I'm in a position just now, like your toolbox, a tradesman. You've got thousands of tools in your toolbox. I've got thousands of tools in my mental health toolbox, as I call it. Tomorrow it might not work for me, but I go around that toolbox and try different tools. It's just finding that right tool that works for you, which is the biggest bit.
There's something in it is inspiring. It's like a relief when you realise that you're not alone. When you've shared that, you've got a commonality with somebody else. Like, oh, how did you get past that? Oh, I thought, because you get blinkered. And I think the ladder's the first step. That's a really good analogy. It's a big step, and then it gets smaller after. It's when you deal with things. I always believe it's good to attack your fears, because imagine a life without fears. Just for a second, imagine a life without any fears. Look at what you're capable of. The fact of the matter is, you are capable. Any man out there, you're all more than capable. It's just you've not done it yet. And if you can get that that footing from someone else, because humans are humans, we are there. Everybody, I believe, the majority of people have all got empathy. It's just an education, because it's like the billboard. If someone was to come to you and say, do you know what, out of that whole billboard, give me a positive of it, Because you've seen the negative, haven't you? Yes, I've seen that. I want you now to switch off from that. And I want you to look at the positives all the time. And it's small things. You say that all the time. It's never the big things, Vic. It's always the small things in life. And they're not that difficult. But it's not until somebody's explained it and you get the perspective and you go, I believe in you. I think you could do that. No problem. Tell me when you've done it. And it's amazing when you've done it. It's a self-achievement when you've done it. So, I think it's just, when you walked in that first Andy's Man Club, you would have had that fear of going in, I'd imagine, the judgment. And I know that's a lot of what Andy's Man Club, there's no judgment here. But the fact that you've already done that hard step, which is out your comfort zone, that's massive, absolutely massive. But there must have been that relief after the first visit, or the second or the third visit.
Yeah, no, 100%. And for anything, walking into a new club or walking into a new shop or anything, it's hard, the steps doing that first bit. And it's a big relief coming off your shoulders when you walk in, knowing that you're not alone. I always remember right in the early days that I walked through that door and you always feel that you're getting judged, but then there was other people there you knew, and you're like, oh, they're there for the same reason as you. They're maybe a different reason and maybe going through different scenarios, but the feelings are pretty much the same. And I always remember the early days of, I was struggling, I was self-employed, I wasn't working, so I was struggling to pay my bills and wasn't making money, and like genuinely couldn't buy a Mars bar going in the shop because I never had enough money. And there was another boy going through £500,000 lawsuit with his business, and I'm sitting there, he's going through, I'm struggling to buy a 50p Mars bar, he's talking about 500 million or 500,000, and I could relate to everything he was saying, and I think that's a powerful bit. Completely different walk of life, completely different story, but relatable at the same time, and that's a powerful bit. Is you all walks of life, all different scenarios in Andy's Man Club, all different age groups, but you can relate to so many people. But the hardest bit is just that first step, isn't it? It's just getting that first step into the door. It's like going to your new job. You're always worried about your different things like that. It is always hardest bit, but just stepping out your comfort zone and doing it could change your life around, and you never know until you try it as well. And I say that to every man out there as well. You might not know you needed an Andy's Man Club, but stepping into that group for the first night, it could just change your life. There's so many people come along to support their friends or family. Their friends or family members aren't no longer at Andy's Man Club, but they're still there. They still benefit from so much, and it's so common that, and you never know you need it, and just having that, just getting that stuff off your chest is powerful. And you'll probably use this as a bit of a therapy, talking away sometimes. And you go for it.
We normally spend the first 10, 15 minutes at 6 o'clock in the morning. Right, I'm pissed off with this.
Exactly, and it's having that place to do it. It's magical, isn't it? And it probably benefits the rest of your day or week. So just having that is good.
It is. Because it's a business babble, we like to talk about business. How does Andy's Man Club survive? Because obviously there's got to be some finances there to support the communities, the community halls, the sandwiches, the coffees. How does that all work then, that side of it?
Yeah, so we're a completely different charity in terms of donations. So we're donation led. We don't take any government funding or anything, or local funding at all. We rely purely on donations, so we're very lucky that we get a lot of donations, but we're always looking for new donations as well. May that be on a money side of things coming in, may that be an awareness side of things, or simply sometimes just donating teas and coffees and biscuits for us is huge as well. Likewise with space, if you've got a space that could hold 30 to 40 boys and it's on a Monday night, we're always looking for new spaces as well. But yeah, we're luckily enough we get a good backing, but yeah, it's still hard to try and keep that up. Part of my job is I go out to businesses and deliver presentations. That brings an income in at some point, but we do that free of charge, so we only ask for donations on that side of things as well. And I think that's the biggest bit for Andy's Man Club. We'll never ask for money. If again, boys on a Monday night, it's breaking any barriers down. We'll never ask for money off the boys on a Monday night. Teas, coffees, biscuits, the whole, it's completely free of charge. And again, it's just breaking any barriers down, isn't it? But the business side of things, yeah, we're always looking for businesses to get involved. From advertising for us, we're quite lucky in that sense. We get a lot of businesses and people's vans, work vans, sign written on them.
Right.
We've had ScotRail, we're doing work with ScotRail just now. We're getting lorries. We've got trains wrapped. Transpennine Express down south. We've got a couple of freight trains all wrapped as well. So if you can put our logo on the van or work van, or if you can put a leaflet up in your offices, or an air freshener in one of your trades vans, and get in touch with us, and we'll be more than happy again. There's lots of ways of doing it, and again, it's just raising that awareness. Fife Council's probably a prime example for us local. I started off doing a drop-in session, an awareness session with the HR and staff members. We then rolled out the presentations to staff members. So I went in and done presentations to different groups throughout Fife Council. The waste and recycling service got in touch with us. We done sessions to them, so presentations to them. Then we done drop-in sessions. We then rolled out some advertising on the bin lorries. Further down the line now, we've got the front cabs wrapped in them. So we've got 5, I think, currently, and 5 wrapped with the Andy's Man Club. Again, all free of charge from Fife Council, but what we're giving them is we're going in and delivering the sessions to their staff members and stuff, so that's giving them that extra bit of support. And for us, that's priceless, because the awareness the bin lorries are receiving is huge. Not only in Fife, it's a nationwide thing now, so we've had other councils get involved. I was down at the beginning of the year, down in Birmingham at an awareness event for that as well. So there's other councils getting involved. So there's different needs to different businesses as well, and we'll suit out. As I say, we'll never ask for money. So if you can support us anyway, get in touch with us. It'll be much appreciated, and that's up and down the country as well. It's not just local. It's all over the UK.
Well, I'm sure our listeners, our viewers, will be happy to help. So how do they contact you?
So the best way is just through email, through info@andysmanclub.co.uk. Just drop us an email and it'll get sent to the right people. My email's obviously about as well, but best one is info. Drop us a message on that and we'll get in touch with you, and more than happy to discuss anything, and I'm always open to ideas and advertising and what can we do to get the word out there, because you never know who's seen that picture or that logo or anything. It's you never know who's needing to see it as well.
Yeah. Do you know, the one that's like early doors for me was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know, there was a guy there that was perceived as just the happiest guy on the planet. You know, it was all jokes, all his films were funny, and you would never look at him and think he had any issues. Not that we were in his personal life or that, but that was the first one for me that I thought, no, if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. So hopefully this reaches somebody that can help.
Yeah.
So in this local area, we're in Fife just now. Where are the drop-ins? So
we've got 14 in Fife just now. So as I say, over the UK, we've got over 300, 54 in Scotland, with 14 in Fife. So we're in Kincardine, we're in Rosyth, we've got 2 in Dunfermline, we've got Cowdenbeath, Kelty, Blingery. We've got 2 in Glenrothes, we've got Kirkcaldy, Methil, Cooper and St Andrews as well. So we meet every Monday night, 7 till 9. So every club's run exact same, just different venues. And the best way to go in and find your nearest club is just going on the website, so andysmanclub.co.uk. You'll be able to put your postcode in. There's a wee Find My Nearest Club. You can put your postcode in and it'll come up with the exact address and picture of the venue as well, which is good.
That's good.
Because for people who's maybe struggling, they're maybe not sure what they're going into. And the good thing with Andy's Man Club, as much as it's a Monday night 7 till 9, there's events out with a Monday night as well. The boys will run their own things and they'll do different drop-in, like just maybe go out for a game of football or walking talks. All these different things happen as well, but the main core of it is a Monday night, and every meeting is run exact same. So you could go to one in Aberdeen, you can go to one in Dunfermline, you can go to one in Portsmouth. They run exact same. 7:15 there'll be somebody standing outside ready to welcome you in the group as well. So for any new faces going up, you turn up in the car park, you see the boys standing there, that's who you know you go to, because they'll have the Andy's Man Club logo on. And they'll welcome you in and get you settled in, which is the biggest bit, isn't it? Is how you get welcomed into the group, and it's the hardest bit. There's so many times that somebody's been standing in or sitting in their car and they've had to get the window knocked. Are you here for Andy's Man Club? If they say no, fair enough, they're maybe not here for Andy's Man Club. They're maybe here for another club next door, or they're just out for the night or whatever. But so many times they're sitting there, oh yeah, but I'm struggling to get in through the door. Well, come with me and I'll take you in.
Aye, I think that's so important, because we study that, we always get told that in networking, stand at the front door for people that ever want to come networking in business. It's quite nerve-wracking coming into a room that you do not know anybody. You're not sure how you're going to be perceived. All these it's amazing how your mind just starts wandering.
Yeah.
You know, the fact of the matter, you've got there, you can see somebody there, it's like a wee beacon of hope. Oh, right, that's the door I'm going through, right? Oh, do I go or not? And the fact that they can come to you is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, I must admit, I think it's fantastic what you do. Absolutely fantastic. Sure. So poignant, so important for people out there. One question I was going to ask you just before we finish, age demographic.
Yeah, so it's 18 and over. And as long as you identify as a male and you're over the age 18, you're welcome to come through the door. So 18 and over. And that's really just down to safeguarding side of things.
Yeah.
We know there's a big issue under 18s, but purely down to safeguarding, it's 18 and over.
Right, okay. Well, thank you very much, Kenny.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Absolute pleasure having you on.
No, thank you very much for having me along. And as I say, if anybody wants to know more about it or learn more, just drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to talk to them.
I'm sure the Business Babble will help you out.
Much appreciated.
This is your world.
Shape it.
Or someone else will.